Howdy Peeps, yeah, I feel like things are getting better, so I'm really happy about that, you know what I mean? So just perseverance. Made me laugh yesterday. I had to do something I felt I had to do, and you know, I'm always hush-hush about my business, and I did something quite drastic. I didn't like it, but I felt it had to be done because people will just take liberties, because everything's about energy, and people will just siphon your energy if you allow them to, you know what I mean? But I felt there was something deeper beyond that. Yeah, but I'll leave it there. So anyway, I did what I did, and as a result, somebody else was working on behalf of the person I had beef with. You know what I mean? But the person who was working on behalf who I had beef with, I blame him in the first place, because you have to be selective with your friends. You know what I mean? There's no way. You know, I've had friends in the past before I step into the essence of who I am, and it was really quite annoying. They had issues, and say if you were amongst like a few friends, this one would be jealous of that one, blah blah, and stupid politics. I don't have the time for it. So you know, I'm always kind of selective with my friends, and even this one friend I stopped talking to, and she contacted me to say, you know, I had issues. Very nice that she admits to it, but what am I going to do with that? You know, you have to know your own self level. So then you have to know if somebody is not quite at your level, so you can't have them there. In actual fact, inadvertently, they probably siphon off your energy because they like your energy. People have to match you exactly, the friends that you have, you know what I mean? So if you have core values within yourself, then your friends should reflect that as well. And I think, you know what I mean, I didn't know what was going on with a guy who was doing something on behalf of his friend, because nah, we live in a world today, people are always making excuses, and this is why I love the older generation so much, because there wasn't so much techno. When I say there wasn't so much techno, there wasn't any techno. So old school is pure school. They're strong, they're resilient. Young school, they've got an attention span of 1 second. So if they're credible to do studying or a job, everything else flies out the window. You know what I mean? So I actually love my old school people, or I love younger generation who are actually old souls, because, you know, the way I look at life, even today, to get off the bus, it's a trauma. So I didn't know if a woman was plugged in, but people are just so disassociated, and because you're quite assertive, they kind of, you know, don't like it, because you're making them come out of their comfort zone, knowing full well that I'm not at the same level as them, and I refuse to be at the same level. So it's now chop chop, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, that's not my character, but they all evolve at that level because that's the way they're programmed to, that's their DNA, when I'm totally different, you know what I mean? So I just get really frustrated with them. You know, we have to seek perfection in our life. If we don't do that, we'll just be camouflaged into the matrix, and that's what you want to do. You want to remove the layers so you're out of the matrix, you know what I mean? Not that you're rooted fully into the matrix. You can exist and levitate in amongst the matrix, but your soul's not it. So it's just very frustrating. So it's just, no. And then people want you to drag your standards to their lower level, even though your standards are right up there. It can't be tolerated. So yeah, so whinged over, just be your better version all and every single time, because then you'll have a benchmark, you know, of where your status is as a, you know, your self-worth. So anything below that, you're not going to comply with that, you know, you're not going to bend that easily. So yeah, and just people will try and divert you off your route, your spiritual route, your journey and stuff, try and siphon your energy, but you're not going to have any of it. But on that note, you know, I've seen a few possibilities, and I'm very, very happy, because if that's happening, then I know gradually everything else is going to fall into place, and That's always a good thing. It'll be all of what I've gone throughout my life. It'll be the wait for, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So it'll be a thing of the past. You'll just heal and say, wow, you know, you're just so self-healed that all that never existed. It'll just be in the distance, in the background. On that note, it's very, very cold. I don't know if I can see my bus. I think I've had enough. Love and light, people. Have a good evening.